So we have a tape job called the Low Dye Arch Taping. So L-O-W and then D-Y-E. And there's a couple different ways in which to tape the arch, but this is one of the ways that kind of found to be actually fairly useful and beneficial. One of the things that I like to do when I'm the very first time that I'm kind of thinking about it is to kind of draw a little line of where the actual arch needs to be supportive. So now, if we look here on his foot, he's actually got a fairly high arch. Okay, so you want to go where the arch starts. Okay, so just so as it kind of comes around the heads of the metatarsal, it starts to curve up right about here. Okay, as it comes around the heel, wraps around again, it starts right about here. Okay, so that's the position of which I'm actually wanting to try to support his arch. And the reason this is important is because if I come too far down, then I'm pinching around the metatarsal heads, and that is very uncomfortable. And if I come too high, it's pinching off posterior tib tendon, anterior tibialis tendon. Those are kind of irritating as well. So I really want to make sure that it's a pretty small place that I'm actually placing this arch tape. But as long as I stay within that edge, I can go pretty tight, and he's not going to feel uncomfortable. If I extend beyond that and I try to go tight, he might have a lot of uncomfortable or be pretty uncomfortable. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to apply some tough skin to make sure it's on fairly secure. I could use some pre-wrap. For him, I'm going to, for him, I'm just going to use some PowerFlex. And what I'm going to do here, just kind of to make this helpful, I'm just going to apply this right in that particular kind of spot of where I kind of talked about. Now, the plus side of the tough skin is that it's going to protect the skin. The downside is that it does allow for some sliding to be able to happen, and which you really don't want. So you try to be as cautious with using any type of PowerFlex or pre-wrap on here as possible, just because it will jeopardize the strength of the tape because of the fact that now it can slide around. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do half strips. Again, kind of like what we just did with the plantar fasciitis taping. I'm going to come from the lateral side to the medial side, right to the metatarsal head, and secure that down. I'm going to do one more piece, overlap it by half to here, secure that down. Okay, and now what I've done is that I've just again provided an anchor, so that way it's not going to slide too much one direction or the other. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take tape from the lateral side of the foot, so that lateral anchor. I'm going to come around to the medial side, and the key here is I want to push and secure with my fingers and secure into the arch, and now I'm going to pull that up as tight as I can, like actually pretty hard. I'm going to really kind of force that down. I'm not securing it all the way around to this other anchor, so it doesn't matter how tight I make it. I'm not just wrapping it all the way around the entire foot. I'm going to overlap that by half, do the same thing, pull that as tight as I possibly can. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to pull that as secure as I can. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually then going to put one piece of tape over the top, overlap that by half. So I'm securing and holding these down, but I haven't completely wrapped all the way around the actual foot. Because if I do that, then it's going to definitely be pretty tight. If these anchors extend long here, I might want to cut these off. But again, as much as I can actually keep these on is going to help keep that tape from actually wrapping down. So now what's happening is I've pulled that arch up into here, so when he goes and steps down, it's all going to tighten up right here, and it's actually going to help keep that arch up. So I'm going to actually have him step down and walk around on it and tell me if it actually does hold that arch up. Hopefully it'll alleviate some of the pain. If it doesn't, you can change it up again. But again, if I extend this down too much, it's probably going to actually make it more uncomfortable. So I really want to just stay right within those lines of where that actual medial longitudinal arch is.